For this week, you are going to be going through Chapter 11, which involves creating a database and its tables using SQL. And you're also going to be going through Chapter 12, which teaches you how to do the same thing, but you're going to use the SSMS interface. So Chapter 12 does not involve using SQL commands. It involves using the interface instead. So you'll go through both, and then you will have a lab for your final project milestone. And this milestone does involve creating your database, creating the tables, specifying the foreign keys, the primary keys, and indices. So read the chapter in the book, go through the lecture demo, and then you're going to go through the textbook assignment, which gives you practice on all of those skills. You'll do the same thing for Chapter 12, and then you'll get to the milestone. I did include videos showing you kind of the process. And you basically need 6 tables. You may have more, which is okay. And so when you create your tables, you want to make sure that the columns all have unique names. You specify data types, and if you have character or variable character, you should have sizes. And you also should be specifying whether null values are okay or not. You need primary keys identified, and you need foreign keys identified. Also, the foreign keys should be an index. The primary key is automatically going to be a clustered index, and you should create non-clustered indexes on your foreign keys. So I do have examples, video examples, plus I am giving you examples of what I did. I did it in 3 steps. So my first step was to create my database and to create my tables. And you will notice that I did the primary key constraints. And once I had the tables created, then I did alter tables to add my foreign key constraint. This is usually where people run into trouble. So if you have trouble with the foreign keys, the most likely issue is when you are adding a foreign key. For example, I've got zip code here. It is variable character. So in the customers where I have zip code, I also need it to be variable character 10. Okay, so your foreign key, the data type has to match what you have, you know, as the primary key. So it's the primary key here, I pull it in here, the data types have to match. So it's a huge problem if they don't, and you are not going to be able to create the foreign key. Okay, so that's true of all foreign keys. You'll notice here I've got the customer ID, which is a foreign key. ID up here is the primary key. So it's the foreign key down here. And I made sure I kept the same data type. Same with location ID. Okay, so ID in the location table is the primary key. Down here it is the foreign key. Data types are the same. So to me, it's easier to do the tables first with the primary keys and then do the foreign keys in a separate step. And once you get past the foreign keys, creating the indices should not be a problem. People do not usually get errors in this step, but the name of the index does need to be unique. That's the only error that I've seen. So I've got examples for the fictional business. I also included the same examples for Sugar Bakers, my fake bakery, just so you could see a little different example. And I did that one the same way, where I did the database and the tables first, then I did the foreign key constraints, then I did the indices. And once you've got all of that, you're going to generate a database diagram. You can do that right in SQL Server Management Studio. And create a little backup of your database. And then you're going to submit the database and the table creation code. So if you kept your scripts, that does make it super easy to submit them. If you don't have them, you can actually generate scripts by following these steps. Okay, so that is basically the milestone. It's not due for a couple weeks. Okay, and the reason it's not due until the 19th is because next week, you're gonna add data to the tables. And so I have you basically turn them both in at the same time. They're due at the same time, because it's not very beneficial to actually look at the tables until you've got the data in the tables. So next week, week 8, is going to be adding data to your tables. So chapter 7 covers that. If you do run into problems this week, please ask for help. You'll probably have to send me all of your code or meet with me in Zoom, because I'm going to have to either see what's going on or I'm going to have to recreate your table so I can see the error. And this is one of the more difficult steps. Once we get past this, it should be smooth sailing. So let me know if you need help.